So yes, I'm here with Cully Hamner, who is the artist for Wildstorm's Red, the comic, which is now being adapted into film. So I guess to start off, what's your involvement been with the film version of Red versus the comic?
Pretty minimal, to be honest. I mean, I obviously, we did the book and they optioned it. I mean, obviously, I didn't, have anything to do with writing the script or anything like that. I'm pretty pleased with the job that the writers, the Hober brothers, did. But my involvement has basically been to visit the set and getting to do this amazing Comic-Con experience today, and that's pretty much it. Helping to promote the thing.
Have you been to Comic-Con before? I mean, because you're a long-time comic artist.
Yeah, I mean, I got my first job here almost 20 years ago, so it's been quite an experience. I mean, this show is a lot bigger than it used to be. I'm an old man, and and this thing is just grown by leaps and bounds. I've never been on this side of it before, so this has been pretty interesting.
Gotcha. Now, did you help Warren in terms of developing the comic script, or was it all his writing and your? I don't want to say just your illustrations.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I think what happened with us was he and I had been looking for a project to do for a couple of years at that point. And I just finally, Warren is in England, I'm in Atlanta, and I think I finally emailed him one day and said, we should. What are we going to do? Let's do something. I was like, if you don't have anything, I have a pitch or something like that, And within like 10 minutes, I got an email back from him, and he said, I was about to send you this, like literally just as your email came through, and it was like a half-page pitch for Red.
Okay.
I loved it, and I was like, let's do this. I think within a week we had it set up at Wildstorm, and we just went. And, as far as what I contributed, I mean, Warren wrote the thing. There's no ambiguity about that. I did not write the miniseries. What I did was I designed all the characters. I designed the logo. I designed like the sort of three-tiered cover scheme that we did. And, I played with the storytelling a little bit. Sometimes I would change the pacing, or I would, maybe hold a moment on a character a little bit more than what was written, but it was very much a team effort because that's the way Warren writes. He leaves a lot of room for the artist to contribute. We're both trying to tell a story.
Right. Well, that actually segues well into my next question. You said you did all the character design. Writers are, especially comic writers, are used to the idea that the words they write are going to be interpreted by a different artist.
Sure.
So what was it like for you to see picture undersells it, but images that you'd drawn translated to film, where you had less control of it? Artists aren't necessarily used to seeing things reinterpreted through someone else's lens.
It's funny because there is no literal translation in this movie. There are certain scenes that are very much inspired by what's in the book, especially in the beginning of the film. But I don't think that there is any sort of a literal. It's not like Sin City where you basically can hold a panel up to a movie and go, wow, it's so close.
Right.
But at the same time, they did get pretty close in other things. The casting, casting Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis playing, a bald hard ass.
Not a stretch.
Not much of a stretch. He is, in the neighborhood of what I drew.
Right.
The thing is action packed in very much the same way that the movie or that the comic is. It's just there's a tonal difference. There's a scope difference. The movie seems to be much more of a travelogue than the book ever was. The book is, it's 66 pages. It's a small piece of work. It's very tight. It's very economical. It's like the difference between a one-act play and a four-act play. So it is different, but I think that the core of what we did is there.
Okay. Then just one last question, since I've got you here, segging away from the film. You just recently wrapped up working on Detective with Greg Rucka doing the Question backup feature.
Yes.
Which was incredible, by the way.
Thank you.
For a while, Detective Comics was my favorite between
cool.
Batwoman and the Question stories.
I was proud of that whole package. I was proud of everybody that worked on it.
And winning the GLAAD Award.
Yeah, that was cool. That was very, very cool.
What's your next project that you're doing for DC?
Actually, it's funny you ask, because what I'm working on right this second is a prequel to Red, to our book.
Okay.
So I'm doing a 40-page one-shot. I'm writing it and drawing it with Warren's blessing. And what we're going to see is why Paul Moses retired in the first place.
Okay.
So, you know, it's going to be very similar in tone. There are going to be some things about it that may shed a little light on aspects of the miniseries that we did together, maybe even things that you didn't think were important. I sort of tried to pick up on and maybe give a little bit more weight to.
Okay.
So that should be out right around the same time as the movie.
All right.
It's called Red Eyes Only.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to seeing that.
Thank you.
All right.